Hello students, and welcome again in this new session. And in the last session we learnt about learning. We understood the concept of learning and various element of learning and different factors, how they have impact, and we also understood the need of learning in organizational behavior and how the organizational functioning get affected as a result of learning, because learning has impact on behavior and behavior has direct impact on functioning of individual, and the functioning of individual is responsible for the productivity, effectiveness and efficiency of individual, and the organizational productivity, efficiency and effectiveness helps in the attainment of organizational goals. So, there is a direct relationship of learning with organizational functioning, and organizational functioning can be improved with the support of effective organizational behavior. So, this is importance of learning, and if we want to understand learning in a better way, yes, we have gone through various meanings and definitions given by experts and authors, but we need to understand various theories. Basically, there are theories, approaches, thoughts and schools which helps us the various concepts. For the learning also, there are different theories given by various experts, various authors and various people, those who have worked in the field area of psychology, in the field area of education, and yes, in the field area of industrial working. Learning for industrial working, learning for educational institution, learning in psychology, learning in social sciences have a bit different meaning. So, the people, experts from various domain areas, various disciplines have tried to understood, and whatever they could understand, and as a result of that, whatever principles they could bring up, with the support of those principles, learning can be better understood. And after understanding the learning in a better way, how those principles can be practiced among industry, so that industrial or organizational working can be improved. So, there is need to understand the various theories, and these learning theories gives, as I told you, that the conceptual frameworks and principles, and practicing those conceptual frameworks and principles in the organizational working brings the productivity and effectiveness, and that helps in the attainment of organizational goals. So, for understanding the theories, there is need to understand them from different schools. There are 4 and 5 different schools, and the very first one is the behavioral school, the cognitive school, the social school and the environmental school. And here meaning of school means there are number of philosophers, experts from different disciplines, those who have tried to understand learning as a cognitive phenomena, learning as a behavioral phenomena, learning as a social phenomena, learning as an environmental phenomena. So, whatever these experts have contributed to their respective disciplines and schools, those contributions are understood as theories of learning, and theories of learning are important for the educators, for instructional designers, for people working in the organizations, for developing the teaching methodologies, strategies for skill attainment, and for development of appropriate learning environment, and yes, of course, the interventions which can facilitate learning outcomes. So, without understanding different theories, it is not possible to understand the mammoth of learning process. Now, there are certain importances of learning theory. The very first one is informing instructions. By understanding various theories or by understanding the theories of different schools, we try to know how instruction can be informed, how the behavior or competency will be developed as a result of teaching strategies or learning material. Second importance of learning theories or understanding the learning theories is improving learning outcomes. Improving learning outcomes means if we are giving a training program, if we are running a training program and during the training program, if learning has not appropriately happened, then its outcome would be nothing. But whatever learning has happened, that has resulted into the permanent change in behavior that will impact the workplace, or that would be an outcome. So, by understanding various theories of learning, we can ensure the learning to happen in a better way, and if learning has happened in a better way, certainly it will bring some takeaway, it will bring some outcome, and that outcome will be helpful in generating the productivity, in ensuring the efficiency and effectiveness of organization. So, learning outcome is also one of the important factor. Next is guiding research. The world is moving with a very fast speed in respect of change and advancement, and advancement is as a result of discoveries, inventions and research, and research, discovery and inventions are resultant of learning. With the existing knowledge, that is whatever knowledge we have acquired, we move from there towards the unknown, and then by the process of innovation, by process of creativity, we invent, discover or research something. That invention, discovery or research is possible as a result of learning only. If learning is not there, then the process of research or research guiding is not possible. Next is facilitating professional development. If we want to develop the professional, if we want to train the professional, and training and development is as a result of change and advancement, and change and advancement is a regular phenomena of organizational working. We started with the hand fabrication of cloth, then there was handloom, then power loom, then automatized power loom, and then the digitized automatized power loom. It means there is a great change in the technology from manual working to the digitized automatized textile fabrication, and this change is possible by time to time professional training and development, and professional training and development can happen as a result of learning only. And next is the learning theories drives the continual professional growth and encourages instructors to bring the workforce to the level of maximum productivity. Another element of this importance of learning theories is promoting innovation. So, without learning, innovation and creativity is not possible. A new learning is always as a result of innovation or creativity, and all these factors, all these importances can be better understood with the help of different learning theories in organizational behavior. And among them, the very first theory is the theory of behaviorism, and these theories of behaviorism can be classified into two, that is classical conditioning and operant conditioning. Second school of learning theories is cognitive, and third one is social learning theories. Fourth one is theory of constructivism, and the last one is theory of experiential learning. So, now we will take up one by one all these theories. Among them, the very first one is theory of behaviorism. Behaviorism is one of the prominent learning theories in organizational behavior. It is relevant to understanding the work attitude. As I told you that there are certain behaviors, set of behaviors, and these set of behaviors means the behavior for interaction with the people, the behavior while working on the machine, the behavior while performing in the organizational working. All these are as a result of attitude, and attitude can be understood in behavioristic theories. Behaviorism also focuses on observable attributes and external factors. When individual has learned something that would be observable, and there are certain external factors which will influence the learning of employees, and that may be positive, negative, but it is always permanent in nature. Behaviorism also emphasizes the role of environment and external stimuli. Already I have explained that, and not only that, it also involves the motivation, various principles of learning, and as a result of that means, let us again try to understand stimulus, reaction, motivation, and then the reward, and that reward will be a permanent change in behavior. Now, in the behaviorism, very first theory is classical conditioning theory, which was given by one of the Russian psychologist who is Nobel Prize winner, and name is Ivan Pavlov. Ivan Pavlov developed the classical conditioning theory, and which is based upon an experiment, and experiment was Ivan Pavlov have been having a dog in his house. So, he observed that whenever he will give food or biscuits to the dog will start salivating, and this is a conditional, because food and salivation are conditioned, these are related to each other. But after some time, Pavlov start giving a bell first, and after giving the bell he will give food to the dog, and this experiment was repeated number of days. So, whenever Ivan Pavlov will give food to the dog, he will first ring the bell, and after ringing the bell, after some time Pavlov will give food or biscuits to the dog. So, after repetition of this experiment for number of days, Pavlov observed that now when Pavlov is ringing the bell only, on that also the dog starts salivating. Now, there is no relationship of ringing the bell and salivation. There is a relationship between food and salivation, but as a result of learning, the dog learnt that after bell food will come. So, the biological process of dog as a result of conditioning the salivation starts. So, this is classical conditioning, and in this classical conditioning, an unconditioned stimulus, that is food or biscuit or meat, will result in an unconditioned response, that is salivation. But when the Pavlov started giving bell, that was a conditioned stimulus, that is bell, but this bell resulted in no response, because there is no relationship of any of activity of dog with the bell. So, later on an unconditioned stimulus, meat, that develops the unconditioned response of salivation, and that was associated. The classical conditioning is also known as the associative learning also, because the bell was associated with the food, and food was an unconditional stimulus which results into the unconditional response, but the conditioned stimulus of bell associated with unconditioned stimulus of meat started giving unconditioned response or salivation, or the conditioned response of salivation. Later on, when Pavlov will give the bell only, then the process of salivation start, and this is unconditioned stimulus, this is conditioned stimulus resulted into the conditioned response. Why we are going so much in detail for this, and how this classical conditioning can be practiced? As I told you, that theories and principles and conceptual frameworks can be practiced, and those practices can affect the productivity of organization. So, in the organization, employees' behavior can be conditioned. There are certain unconditioned stimuluses which results into the unconditioned responses, but if certain conditioned stimulus are associated with unconditioned stimuluses, that can result into the unconditioned responses, or in the later stage as a result of practice, the conditioned stimulus can result into the conditioned response. Let us take example of late coming in the organization. Let us take example of that. If we want to correct the behavior of people, then those who are coming on right time, if they are given any kind of benefit, a very small benefit, a very small gift, or anything, if that is associated with this, gradually the undesired behavior of late coming can be corrected, and this is a kind of classical conditioning or learning by conditioning. Another example we can very easily understand. A baby is taken to the doctor's clinic because baby is ill. Baby was examined by the doctor, and doctor finalized that there is need to give injection to the baby. And throughout all this examination, interaction with the doctor, baby was very happy, and then doctor put out the syringe and needle and took medicine in the syringe, and then asked mother to keep the baby in prone line position, so that injection can be given to the baby. Up to this time, baby was playing, happy, interacting and all that, but just on pricking the needle to the baby, it was painful, and as a result of this pain, baby will cry. And because illness was kind of bit serious in nature, so there was need to bring baby for 4 or 5 days for the injection, and daily baby was given this injection. Now, baby is all right, there is no health problem, and baby is at home and doing something naughty or nuisance. Now, mother will say, if you will do that, I will take you to the doctor. The fear of doctor, because the baby learnt if he will go to the doctor, he will get injection, and injection is painful. So, mother will say, if you will do this, if you will do anything wrong, if you will do anything negative, if you will do anything harmful, I will take you to the doctor. And as a result of fear of pain, the baby will correct the behavior. So, this is classical conditioning. This practice can be used among organizational working also, as I have given example, by means of giving positive and negative both kind of conditioning. The second type of behavioristic theory is the operant conditioning, and the operant conditioning is it was given by one of the philosopher, one of the expert B.F. Skinner, and according to this learning theory, some mice were kept in a trap, and there was a lever in the trap, and mice is there in the trap. So, mice is moving from one place to other. So, while moving here and there, suddenly mice hit the lever, and once lever was hit by the mice, there will be dropping of a food pellet in the trap. So, this thing happened multiple of time. For the first time, mice was not aware that food pellet has come as a result of hit to the liver, but second time, third time, in the process, mice will learn that the food pellet is coming in the trap as a result of hitting the liver. Now, as and when mice will need the food, mice will hit the liver and the food pellet will drop down in it. So, this is also one of the process of learning which is known as operant conditioning. Operant conditioning means, another name is the conditioning which happens as a result of some operation by the organism on the environment. In the case of mice and lever of the trap, mice operates the lever of the trap, and as a result of that there is some reward or punishment. It can also be understood, suppose the mice is hitting a lever, and as a result of that, if there is a very slight electric shock to the mice. So, if the reward is received by the organism will repeat that behavior, or if there is any pain or anything displeasure as a result of doing any operation, any activity, organism will try to avoid that. And according to this, the pleasure and pain are result of learning. Anything which is pleasurable for us or for human beings or for organism will repeat that to do, or if anything is not pleasurable or painful or hurting or negative in nature, the organism or individual try to avoid that. So, this is operant conditioning, and in this operant conditioning, the operation encourages the desired actions or outcomes, and it may be positive or negative. In case of negative, I told you that it will restrict, it will stop the organism to operate or to act upon that. So, how this can be done? Another example, and in the industrial working, suppose someone has performed beyond the target, then the incentive given will motivate, will reinforcement in both the classical conditioning and operant conditioning, the phenomena of reinforcement. Reinforcement means anything which will strengthen the behavior, that is reinforcement. And what kind of behavior? If behavior is positive, how it can be strengthened, what reinforcement can be given for that, and if behavior is negative, then how it can be reinforced to abstain to do that. So, that process can be practiced. So, both the classical and operant conditioning or the theories of learning are practiced as conceptual framework, and their principles of punishment, reward, reinforcement, pleasure, displeasure, all they are practiced so that the employee's behavior can be aligned, synchronized with the maximum productivity, effectiveness and efficiency, so that organizational goal can be attained. So, these are two theories of operant conditioning and classical conditioning from behaviorism. Now, the next theory is cognitive theory, and this theory was given by Edward Tolman. Declined that it is not the operation or the certain conditionings which can result in the learning. According to Tolman, the organisms, specifically the human beings use their mental processes. Suppose in the case of operant conditioning, 3 different levers are given, and the first lever is attached with the food pellets which are not of choice of mice, and second lever is with the mild choice of mice, and the third lever is attached with the food pellet which is choice of the mice. So, after performing all these operations by using the cognitive processes of imagination, understanding, memory, mice will learn that if he will hit the lever 1, the food pellet is not of choice. So, will not operate on that. The mice will operate on the food pellet which is of choice. So, according to Edward Tolman, it is not only the mechanical functioning on the environment which results into the learning, the mental processes, the cognitive processes of sensation, perception, imagination, then memory, then intelligence, all they are working in the process of learning, and using these processes learning can better be strengthened, and this can be practiced. Various kind of choices related to work condition and related to other factors of organizational working are given as a result of use of the cognitive processes. Employees learn them effectively, and with this we will close this session. I hope you might have enjoyed the session, and I am thankful for your patient listening. We will discuss the learning theories in next session also. So, thank you very much.